All right, getting ready to get on the highway. So we're at 18 miles per gallon on the back roads. Now a little higher speeds, what starts to play out in traffic. So what's really nice here is this little area. You have two areas on your center console. You have like a deep one that's below here, down there. Then you have the small one right here. And you have the capability to put your cell phones right here. It's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Get out on the roadway, and this guy here wants to fight. So he just feels like, you know, there's 5 cars in front of me and none behind him. But whatever. It's never ending fight. Fight for a spot. And it's a Friday, which is like the worst day of the week to be on the freaking roads. And it's raining. Loving my heated seats. But I think the massaging thing stopped. Yeah, the lumbar massaging seat stopped. I'm kind of disappointed on that. My Ford products, the newer ones, they'll go as long as you want them to run. But Stellantis is turning the massaging seat off. My guess would be after like 10-15 minutes or something. But the Ford used to do that, but now they just run all day long if you want them to. So I have no idea if there's a setting in the vehicle to change that. So now I'm up here in what's the race of the day, but this vehicle here, it really does just get down the road. And now we're kind of going to the corners here with everybody else, and the vehicle's doing well considering we're going through a pretty hard turn and it's a rainy day. And yeah, you get overconfident, and boy, I tell you, if you watch that video, I just did a short video of me just about crashing this vehicle, and you don't really get that effect on this vehicle. You don't really see it in the video and how I was in so many ways sliding to a point. Yeah, that was a very close call. But anybody watching the don't really get the same feel and experience that I had, where it was much more of a car trying to get under control and not sliding out off the road. All right, we're gonna get a little bit of the higher speeds now. So that's what I figured. Once I kind of get these higher speeds, I think this fuel mileage is going to start to tank. So see, it shows current, 9 miles per gallon as I'm trying to kind of get up the road here. Oh, that's too bad. I missed my turn, but it's all right. There's another way for me to do this. I already know that. So I'm going to know my ways around here to overcome that. Yeah, it's actually a better way. I'm surprised the Waze has to be going that way anyways, because it's kind of a shortcut through over to get somewhere I'm trying to go right now. Massaging seats are on. We're at 17. I predict 15. That's my guess. Pull the car out at 15, ain't gonna get 17. One thing about a new car is just getting used to your environment, getting used to your seating posture, your steering wheel, all the settings. It usually kind of takes time to get that, and thank goodness for the memory seats, because who hasn't had the situation where you get your car all set up to exactly the way you like it, but in the end somebody changes your settings. And one thing I'm really liking about this vehicle is how bright it is. That's one thing I don't like about these dark colored big SUVs, is it's such a ooh, can't do that. I don't know what's going on there. See, this is kind of weird. This kind of is confusing of where we're going here. I don't usually drive through the metro station to get up the road, but at the same time, what the heck's that all about? The person there, I'm just have to just take the assumptions here. This thing's kind of confused, or I'm confused. I don't know where the heck I'm going. I'm lost now. Oh boy. No, not. Yeah, it'll get me out there. It's just pretty cool. I'm just doing the cut through of the main roads. This Waze is like your friend, but it's not, because it ends up taking people through your neighborhood. That's a big criticism of this Waze technology. So many people don't like it because Waze gives you the secrets of the roads you don't usually travel and how to go through all the back roads to avoid all the traffic jams and lights. And so then you're driving through people's neighborhoods. But the guy like me that's driving through the neighborhood to get up the road quicker, then I don't mind it, because it's helping me get around more efficiently. So it's sitting all these lights all day long. But yeah, but back to the interior, this is such a light, such a bright interior. And I just think that, that's so crazy. So it's a red light camera. So what you're hearing here is, this is forewarning me that this is going to give me a ticket if I run this light. So anyway, the brighter interior of the vehicle was a huge sale for me. If this vehicle had a black color interior, there's no way I would have gotten excited about this car and bought this vehicle. So a woman out of Pennsylvania ordered this vehicle in so many ways. I want to say, hey, thank you for doing that. Wouldn't that be something if this woman was looking through a YouTube channel just to see if she should still pursue the Jeep Grand Wagoneer purchase, and she sees that I have her vehicle that she ordered, and she would be like, wow, that thing was in Pennsylvania. How'd that thing go all the way down to Virginia? It was a dealer swap, that's why. There it is. See, that's gonna kind of drive you nutty. What do you think? I think I'm gonna turn that off. I think that's on the Waze side, though. I think this is more on the Waze is telling me this isn't the car. You need to turn off the volumes in Waze. Something I'd like to talk about as well in the Jeep Grand Wagoneer is how this still has a truck feel. So this SUV, it still radiates you having that big truck presence and feel. So it still kind of gives you that, the manly, I guess the women would be like, manly, what are you talking about? But it still gives you that kind of manly satisfaction of driving a nice size footprint vehicle, but it doesn't really have radical truck behaviors, but it does have the truck kind of like feel, which I think that's pretty cool. What's really interesting is the Jeep, or I should say the Ram 1500 Limited I had a few years ago. I didn't like that vehicle because it was much of an SUV ride. It didn't feel like a truck. And what's interesting here is this, in so many aspects, radiates in some way a little bit more of a truck type of vehicle because of its footprint and its size, and its kind of handling characteristics a little bit, but at the same time, it's not radiating that typical big truck type of ride, if you know what I mean by that. Well, it's a rainy day, and the ones out there that don't know how to drive, they're all over the place. It's very, very challenging today because you just have so many people that get out on Friday. And my theory is, since everybody gets paid, Friday is people get their Social Security check, they get their pension check, they get their regular check, and now they have money and they want to go drive around and spend it, and that's who shows up. The people who don't drive all the week long is usually retired or whatever maybe their circumstances, and now they get this idea, hey, I'm going to go out and go spend my money today, or I have money now to go shopping. So Fridays are just always about challenges. Now, it turned off. That was the Waze. That was Waze notification. Has nothing to do with the Jeep brand product. So anybody who watching my channel, those noises came from the Waze app, not the Jeep technology. But I'm sure you can probably program it in the Jeep technology and the regular navigation. I'll pass. Oh, this is funny. After I just said the sound alert system is all based off of Waze, I'm wrong. Totally wrong on that. It is part of the Jeep brand obnoxious noise. Now, another thing here that's really nice about these full-size vehicles, if you look at the seating, the seats are these like captain style chair vehicles. And what I mean by that is you really have like you're sitting in a conventional chair where you're sitting up propped. And until you own a vehicle, you own a smaller platform vehicle where you're sitting on the floor, meaning your legs are no longer supporting you. Your gluteus maximus is supporting you. Then you don't know, because once you have your gluteus maximus on the seat all day, it's a direct hit into your vertebrae, your spine, and your whole body. And what's going on is you're just taking a lot of hits, you're absorbing a lot of energy through your body of everything that's going on in that car. Versus when you're sitting more in a captain seat style vehicle like I am, in your bigger vehicles, have the room, it's the headroom, it's just the whole dynamics of the vehicle, the engineer of the vehicle that allow you to have a full-size seat. You aren't as tired. And trust me, over the years, I've lived in so many different cars, and I've owned these smaller vehicles, and I've worked out of them, where you're basically, what I'm saying to you is your legs are like straight up. So if you look inside your car, next time you see your car, if your legs are more borderline horizontal to the way you sit in that car versus me, it's like a 90-degree angle on how I'm sitting here. If you sit in your car and your legs are kind of stretched out, you're taking a lot of, you're beating your body up. And that type of vehicle wears you out. It's not a very comfortable over-the-road vehicle typically. Ask me how I know. And it can truly radiate back into your back problems. So unbeknownst to you, you may drive a car all day and get home and your back is killing you, and you just haven't really realized that the vehicle you're driving is creating that problem because of your body posture in the vehicle. Yeah, so you spend a lot of money for these higher end vehicles, and it's like anything else. The monies that you spend can give you rewards on just what you witnessed here earlier, was the safety features of the vehicle, and then as well as the comfort and enjoyment of the car. But it's not cheap. The challenge is you have to spend a lot of money for a lot of these vehicles to get all these amenities, but at the same time, there's a lot of nice used vehicles out there, and you don't have to go to a high-end vehicle to get the type of seating posture I'm talking about. But somebody out there that rides around a very small car hours on end of every day, I'll be amazed if you're not like, my back is killing me by the end of the day, or I'm just tired from riding that vehicle all day. And it's all because of that body position and that energy and inertia that's going through your body to drive that vehicle. Tell you what, one feature I really like about these Mopar Chrysler products, when you go to the park, the automatic e-brake turns on. That is huge. Why other manufacturers like Ford cannot do this? So watch, as long as you have your seatbelt on, when you put this vehicle back in drive, it automatically turns the brake off, but it even holds the vehicle for safety. I mean, just really nice. I just can't emphasize enough how nice this vehicle is, and the easy access of getting in and out of it for the vehicles. This vehicle has an air ride suspension, so the vehicle lowers down when you park it, and the retractable steps come out. I'll show you that in a little bit. Another nice feature here is the hold feature, being that you can keep your foot off the brake pedal as you're sitting in traffic, so the vehicle holds itself until you decide to go and push the pedal. One thing about when you buy a car, taking a test drive in a vehicle, you really don't get the real deal. I mean, it's so dangerous when you go test drive a car, because it's not until you get in the real world of driving around do you really start to come to really like the vehicle, or not so much. It's like right now for me driving this vehicle around, it's a lot of vehicle. I'm in a lot of traffic. The vehicle has good power, but at the same time, you can just feel, the footprint in this vehicle. It's a lot of vehicles. So to kind of like dart around in and out of traffic, not so much. I mean, because it's a big truck in so many ways. And you really have to kind of treat it with respect in that aspect of driving it without getting yourself into trouble, because as you saw earlier, I was going down the back roads, and you come around these sharp corners and somebody stopped. When you're in a big vehicle, that big vehicle is not going to stop as quickly as a smaller platform vehicle. And then once again, just kind of getting in and out of locations and maneuvering around things, it comes down to, is it wearing you out, or is it making your life easier? And here we are. There's just a lot of traffic out on a rainy day, and we all see that. That's definitely, I have to literally have the car parked to turn off these alerts, which I don't like that. I do not like these obnoxious noises going on in the car, and thank goodness I'm sure you can turn it off. It is a Greenery, the Greenery, right? Greenery. Yeah, if I turned off those doggone noises, I'd go into my settings, and it's not that easy to find, actually. It's kind of a pain. I'll show you here shortly. So if you go into your settings, vehicle settings, go to navigation, okay, and then you go into sounds and alerts, and you can start checking off what you want to hear or don't hear. I turned it all off. I just want to hear all this junk. And there goes the Lightning. There's a guy in an F-150 Lightning, and he's gone. See how fast those things are? Those Lightnings are just wicked fast. Yeah, you just know it's just a matter of time before this vehicle had that same technology. Big old electric battery in it, and you'll see it all. There goes a guy in a Mustang or something on a rainy day getting into it. I don't even know what that was. All right, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to try an adaptive cruise control because I haven't used that, but on a rainy day, how does this thing do? I mean, years ago, my Toyota Sequoia, back in 2013, I had one of the first generation Toyota with adaptive cruise control on it, and in the rain, it would turn off. So, how does this vehicle do with that, right? And it's busy. I mean, roads are slammed. Very busy. And people drive the same speed, just borderline, as on a dry day. Yeah, who does that, I wonder? Yeah, let's test this thing. Let's see if it picks up this car right here. And it has, as you see here, you set your speeds. Okay, get her one more lane. Get her speeds set up here. Now we've got, how far away you want to be, or how close you want to be. On a rainy day, I think I'll go. Well, here you go. So you got the. It's kind of weird. Each car has its own way of doing it. So this has up, further, and then closer. Whereas my Fords, you just keep hitting the button and it just automatically defaults backwards from frontwards. It's just so different. Everything. All right, so here we are now, kind of the higher speeds. So this is where I think the fuel economy, before a day's out, I said 15 miles per gallon. Does this vehicle tell me I'm lying? But no hands-free. So here, this is kind of where, to me, I really think this vehicle should have the hands-free capability. Which it will, but it'll probably be another year or two away, be my guess. Now let's kind of see the behavior of the vehicle. Right now I've got, I think, 2 bars. This guy here just came out in front of me, so I'll pick that up now, slow it down. So I'll go down, I'll just go to 2 bars. I'll go to 2 bars instead of 3. This one has a few more bars than my Fords do, so that's kind of interesting. So here we are. So here, I'm at my feet. Nothing's on the gas pedal or the brake. And it's all about the car. Right now, the radar up front distancing itself from the vehicle in front of me. And whatever that vehicle does, this vehicle does. You start slowing down, then I slow down. So it's kind of picking up that car up there a little bit. Not bad. For a rainy day, it seems like the system's pretty thorough. One thing for sure about this Jeep Grand Wagoneer, it's definitely the over-the-road vehicle. Definitely very comfortable, very accommodating, quiet, not on the highway. I mean, you can just kind of probably hear the rain more than anything. I don't even have the moonroof shade pulled back, and it's still very bright in here, even on a cloudy day, rainy day, which I like that. It just really gives this vehicle the energy. I just think the dark vehicles, it's just like being in a closet all day. I just don't like it. That's the downside of that Ford Bronco product, is it's so dark inside the vehicle. So All right, we're making progress. I'm not going to talk a lot more, kind of wrap it up here before long because these turn into very long videos with me doing my yabba dabba do. But I can only hope that you can watch my video and get a feel for if the Jeep Grand Wagoneer is for you. And there's the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, then there's just the Jeep Wagoneer. Two different packages. This has the air ride suspension. This really is the upper package vehicle that give it a lot more luxurious features, amenities. So just keep that in mind. If you go just drive a Jeep Wagoneer, that's a whole different vehicle. I'm not doing a review on that. I'm doing a review on a Grand Wagoneer that has an air ride suspension and the nicer upgraded options of a Select 2. It's borderline a Select 3 premium package. I'm just missing the digital rear view mirror. I know that. And there's a few other things that I'm missing on this vehicle, but for me, I'm very happy and content with what I have. Some here may be like, well, what's the price of the car? If I remember right, this car, I think it was like 96 and change. I'd say it was close to $97,000. But the dealers are becoming more aggressive and offering discounts. So I think that you could probably get this car for under 90 grand if you negotiate and kind of look around. So I really think the $10,000 discounts are starting to kind of happen. Definitely 6 grand off, 4 or 5 grand, 6 grand off all day long. Just depends what package you're getting. So it's to your advantage kind of to just watch the product like I did and be patient and keep an eye on the market. Then you're probably going to find some really good used ones in the 70s and 80s all day long. I think that's right around the corner as well. Right around the corner. Yeah, right. All right. Ford's doing a really good job. It's not overreacting. It really does seem to be moderating and controlling the car without it getting you kind of freaking out on it. So, really nice feature. And something also I want to bring up is the auto zone this car has. Don't be touching that fan button. I talk about this all the time. When you pay to have auto climate, most people have no clue on how to operate that. Once you touch that fan button, it turns the auto off. Now it's off. Now you got to manually manage the temperature of the vehicle. Don't do that. Turn the auto on. If you're too hot or you're too cold, just use your temperature controls here to make the car cooler or hotter. And the car will automatically adjust the fan speed to make it cooler or hotter. And then it'll keep the present auto temperature set to what you want. So here's the cars are slowing down. It's kind of nerve-wracking up here because this really is a lousy area and this road just kind of locks down. And so anyways, on the auto zone, turn on your auto zone, set the temperature you want it to be or adjust it as you kind of get warmer or colder. And the car, like your home, just conditions the car on a consistent temperature. And you'd be amazed at how many people just don't know how to manage. These cars are all stopped. This thing you see, for me, I'm overtaking it. I'm overtaking these cars stopping. I just don't trust it. So for me, I'm now in control of the car. You got to set this adaptive cruise. You have to set these bars much further out when you have this type of traffic so that you can accommodate way up the road people stopping. If you have it way back, then you got to be right on the car stopping. Then it turns into you radically stopping at one moment. You're pushing your luck. You better just override the vehicle and take the brake. All right. So anyway, trending information, right? It's information overload. All right. What's so cool here is when I just pulled in and I parked the vehicle, the brake's on, electric brake automatically comes on. The lowering of the vehicle automatically has happened. So now the vehicle is lower to the ground, and then when I open the doors, these retractable steps automatically come out, and you're extremely low to this ground of the vehicle. So it's very easy access to get in and out of this vehicle. So that's so nice. And as you walk back up to the vehicle, okay, and you open the door, see how low that is? Now the only danger of this is, I've been told by others, if you get too close to a curb, that's a high curb, you could possibly bust this running board. So you need to be very cognizant of that when you come up to the vehicle. I've been away from the car for a few minutes. Let's see if this thing senses me. It does not. I thought it did. My lightning truck does. Or I should say my Power Boost truck actually senses me when I walk up to it and the steps retract. So I thought this vehicle did the same thing. It's just too many cars, too much information, seatbelts on, the automatic brake has come off, and I can now get rolling again. All right, one thing about these big SUVs is when you kind of want to get out of your spot and kind of really get up the road is, how does this do? And right now it does well. I mean, for the most part, it does good. It gets up the road, so it's a plus. We'll kind of wrap it up here in a few minutes on the pluses and minuses. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer. We'll wrap up the pluses and minuses. All right, let's do a final walk around the Grand Wagoneer. Kind of call it a wrap today on a rainy day. And see, as I walk up to the vehicle, does it recognize me? It does not. Okay, so apparently on the Grand Wagoneer, you have to unlock the vehicle and then it deploys these steps. My other Ford products I own, like the Ford Power Boost, the steps deploy without unlocking the car yet as you approach it. It's kind of pretty cool. All right, so I like the low profile stance. You can change that in this vehicle because the air ride suspension, you can raise or lower it. Some people may want a little higher. They may be worried about this. The side step here, retractable step, if you're next to a curb, they're saying that you could possibly break that, okay? So I really like the low profile, so the easy access, get in and out. I like the LED lights, the presence on the road. I like the grill. I think the grill is a really good looking Jeep, theme. And it's a good size wheel, but it's not too big. I'm not really wanting the Grand L, the Wagoneer L series. I think it's just a little too big for what I need it for. But overall, really comfortable vehicle, really nice. And I've already kind of shown you the interior of the vehicle, but I think the lighter color package is the way to go. And I like the rear shades. And so, once again, the rear easy in, easy out access. So we'll kind of wrap it up here in the fuel mileage and call it a day. All right, we're back to the Grand Wagoneer adventures. Just went to the parts store, got some parts, other goodies. You didn't even know it's a parts store, would you? All right, does it recognize me? As soon as I come up, oh, it did. Isn't that interesting? So this time, as I approached the vehicle, it recognized me. It's just so confusing. And another nice feature is the rear handles unlock the vehicle. Some vehicles actually, you have to go to the front handles to get the car to unlock. These newer vehicles today are using the rear handles to sense your proximity and your hand touching the handle, and it unlocks all the doors. We'll turn off. All right, let's do the startup. What do we get here? Look at this compass, the Grand Wagoneer. Isn't that pretty cool? Hey, we're at 17 miles a gallon. I may be eating my words today. I may be eating my words. So look at this here. Okay, all right. All right, here is your surround view as you pull out of the spot. With all your sensors, your cameras. And that's what's interesting. My sales guy, what's interesting is my sales guy is claiming that This doesn't have the 360 camera view, which that's kind of puzzling because to me it seems like it does have the 360 camera view. So I don't know. So what'd be interesting to me is the people that have the 392. One of the gentlemen that goes to the car meet on a regular basis that turned me on to wanting to buy this Jeep Grand Wagoneer, you know, his position was this is maybe a 12 mile per gallon vehicle. I mean, he parted with his due for the fact that he just got sick of the lousy fuel mileage, and he bought himself a Kia Telluride, and which he really likes that vehicle. And so, anyways, this vehicle here, if this vehicle ended up getting 17 miles per gallon, which I don't think it will. I think it's going to be 15. I hope I'm wrong. But the manufacturer's guidelines for the EPA ratings, it shows average 17. That would be very impressive. I mean, sincerely, if that happens. So the people have the 6.4 392 motor, what are they seeing? My guess would be they're seeing that 15. But are they even seeing that?